In a quiet village nestled between tall, looming mountains, there lived an old clockmaker named Elias. Small and dimly lit, his shop sat on the corner of a cobblestone street. Inside, the walls were covered with clocks of every size and shape, their ticking creating a constant hum of time marching forward. Yet, there was one clock, a grand, towering one, that Elias never touched. It sat at the back of the shop, covered in a thick velvet cloth. No one in the village had ever seen it in motion. Elias was a kind man, known for his skill and precision. He had spent his life fixing and creating clocks, bringing time to life for the villagers. But there was something strange about the way he lived. He never seemed to age. For as long as anyone could remember, Elias had looked the same. His hair, though silver, never thinned, and his hands never trembled despite his years. People whispered about him, but no one dared ask him the secret of his agelessness. One stormy evening, a young boy named Thomas entered Elias's shop. Thomas had been sent by his father to get their family clock fixed. The rain poured down in sheets, making the inside of the shop seem even more shadowy and mysterious. Elias welcomed him with a warm smile and inspected the broken clock.
It will be ready by morning.
Why is that clock covered?
Thomas asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Elias's smile faded for a moment. His eyes darkened, but he quickly regained his composure. The next day, Thomas returned to pick up his clock. But when he arrived, the door was open. Inside, the shop was in disarray. Clocks lay shattered on the floor, gears scattered everywhere. In the middle of the chaos stood Elias, staring at the covered clock, his face pale.
What happened?
This is no ordinary clock. It doesn't tell time, it controls it.
Thomas took a step back, his eyes wide with disbelief.
What do you mean?
Elias sighed, the weight of centuries in his breath.
Long ago I built this clock, thinking I could master time itself. And in a way I did, but it came at a cost. This clock has kept me alive for over 200 years. It has given me time, but it has taken everything else. My family, my friends, they've all gone while I've remained.
Why not destroy it?
Elias said, his voice barely a whisper.
I've tried, but every time I've come close, it stops me. It's as if it knows, it binds me to its power.
Without warning, the clock began to pulse louder. The hum grew into a deafening roar. Elias clutched his chest, falling to his knees. He gasped.
It's too late, time. It's catching up.
Thomas rushed to Elias, but the old man's body was fading before his eyes, dissolving into dust as the clock's hum reached a fever pitch. The walls of the shop trembled, and the clocks on the walls began to spin wildly, their hands moving faster and faster. Suddenly, everything went silent. The clock stopped. The mysterious clock, now lifeless, stood still, its power gone. Thomas stood alone in the wreckage of the shop, the weight of what had just happened sinking in. The clockmaker had finally paid the price for trying to control time. With trembling hands, Thomas covered the clock once more. As he stepped out of the shop into the morning light, he knew one thing for certain. Some secrets are better left buried.